Chapter 51 I bought senior #039, S Porsche. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What the hell? The three of them were stunned. Could it be that he and that hot senior sister last night? Did that beautiful senior sister give it up to him? Dude, did you really hook up with that senior sister? Zhou Tao blurted out the question they all wanted to know. Who said she was a senior? Are we talking about the campus queen, Jinxiu? The untouchable goddess Qin Munan? The redhead chick, Zheng Xiaohong pressed him to spill the details, but Gu Wenqing just shook his head. Why are you guys so interested in my personal life? Zhou Tao, Zheng Xiaohong, and Huang Zicheng were green with envy. Let's be honest, they all envied Gu Wenqing for popping his cherry first in the dorm. Huang Zicheng, especially, was stewing in his own frustration, thinking he had to ask Li Wenfang out during the break. That red Porsche Cayenne looks sick. The one parked downstairs at our dorm? Yeah, I heard Porsches cost like 100 grand, easy. Word is, it belongs to senior Wang Yanran. Oh, the senior who brought Gu Wenqing water. That the freshman girls were buzzing about the brand new, unregistered Porsche downstairs. Someone piped up that senior sister Wang Yanran's family was loaded. Another girl scoffed, saying Wang Yanran was definitely riding the gravy train. Damn. Dude, you hear that? Senior sister bought a Porsche. Huang Zicheng was floored. He'd overheard a girl say it. Could it be that the senior sister gave up chasing Gu Wenqing and got scooped up by some other rich dude? The announcement caused an uproar throughout the class. Senior Wang Yanran landed a sugar daddy. Wasn't she after Gu Wenqing? He's got his fingers in too many pies. No way senior sister would put up with that. It's a shame a hottie like that is being taken advantage of. That the freshman guys were bummed. If they were older, loaded, and not such losers, wouldn't they have a shot with senior sister Shihua? Wang Songyang, Chu Bowen, and the rest of that crowd were stoked when they heard the news. Finally, Gu Wenqing's eating crow. Serves you right, see how you like wearing the horns. Everyone assumed that Gu Wenqing got dumped by his senior sister. Some of the guys felt a thrill witnessing the downfall of golden boy Gu Wenqing. Don't sweat it, man. Plenty of fish in the sea, but brothers are forever. Zhou Tao said emotionally, patting Gu Wenqing on the shoulder, brothers forever. What the hell? Is he hitting on me? Gu Wenqing shuddered. I'm not gay. Zhou Tao, me neither. Then why you trying to get all emotional? Huang Zicheng chimed in. I can only imagine how much it hurts to see your senior sister become someone else's girl. Who said anything? My watch is worth over $1 million. You think I can't afford a Porsche Cayenne? Gu Wenqing yelled, looking around at everyone. That Porsche worth a few hundred grand. I bought it. Everyone on the playground gaped, disbelief written all over their faces. Holy crap. Did they just hear that right? Gu Wenqing gave senior sister that red Porsche Cayenne. Did she really hook up with him? And the watch on his wrist is worth over $1 million. $1 million for something that small? That's insane. Gu Wenqing couldn't care less about their shock. Whether it's a few hundred grand or $1 million, it's just pocket change to him, like someone else's $5 or $10. Not even worth mentioning. Chapter 52 The anger of the Vice President of the Student Union. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I overheard Gu Wenqing admit he bought the senior's Porsche. Everyone was stunned. While they were pinching pennies, saving up for a new phone or computer, Gu Wenqing had casually dropped over $300,000 on a Porsche for Shihua. While they were lying in bed at night, drooling over Tizats and Langins costing thousands, Gu Wenqing was rocking a luxury watch worth millions. Right then, every guy on the field felt totally emasculated. The gap between them and Gu Wenqing was astronomical. He was the sun, they were just dirt. Guys like Chu Bowen, with his BMW 5 Series, and Wang Songyang, who owned 4 houses worth over $3 million, and even Li Yuan.Gu with his used Porsche, thought they were hot stuff among the freshmen. They usually strutted around like they owned the place, but next to Gu Wenqing, they were just little brothers. Now they were consumed with envy, jealousy, and pure hatred. The girls, on the other hand, were practically squealing. OMG, I'm so jealous of Wang Yanran. Gu Wenqing is so sweet. He totally spoils her. I'm crying, I should have gone after him first. Get real, girl, wake up. This is like a real-life billionaire romance novel, forget Prince Charming. Now everyone wants a billionaire, and Gu Wenqing. Tall, handsome, rich, and adores his girl. He's everything a girl dreams of. Every eye was glued to him. Qin Yunan wasn't like the rest. She just glared at Gu Wenqing, seething. That jerk. He promised he'd marry me when we grew up. Now she was all grown up, standing right in front of him, and he didn't even recognize her. Fine, he forgot about her. But now he's hitting on other girls, even buying her a Porsche. Qin Yunan felt betrayed. Someday, she'd reveal who she was. She was his childhood sweetheart. Across the field, Chu Bowen was stirring up trouble. In a low voice, he said, Jinxiu, see? Gu Wenqing's a player. Not only didn't he turn you down, but he gave her a Porsche. Chen Xiaohua frowned. How many times do I have to tell you? Call me Chen Jinxiu. Ah, Chu Bowen was shut down, but not discouraged. He was used to it. Gu is just using her. He'll get tired of the senior, then come crawling to you. Chen Xiaohua said coldly, enough. It's none of my business what he does. And with that, Chen Xiaohua headed toward Gu Wenqing, swapping out her sparkling water for an apple flavor. Damn it. Chu Bowen clenched his fist. Chen Jinxiu says she doesn't care, then goes to give him sparkling water. Chu Bowen was about to explode. Gulp. 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 The guys watched jealously as Gu Wenqing downed the sparkling water Chen Xiaohua gave him in one go. Chen Jinxiu, thanks. The apple flavor's way better than the orange. Gu Wenqing said with a smile, hearing his slightly awkward address. Chen Jinxiu frowned slightly, but her voice remained cold. Just call me Jinxiu from now on. Gu Wenqing waved. Okay, Chen Jinxiu. After Chen Xiaohua left, Huang Zicheng stepped up, looking envious. Water from Xiaohua hits different, huh? You drank it down so fast, Gu Wenqing said. To be honest, it was pretty average. The guy next to him turned green with envy and clenched his teeth. He thinks the dream girl's gift is nothing special. Gu Wenqing's just talking out of his butt. How could water from Chen Xiaohua be average? Dude, even Chen Xiaohua's tap water would taste amazing. Her foot bath water is probably fragrant. Gu Wenqing is playing us. Yeah, how can he say the school's prettiest girl is average? The guys were muttering, wishing they could trade places with Gu Wenqing so they could drink the water the prettiest girl gave him. While the freshmen enjoyed the rare break during military training, a guy with long, parted hair scanned the crowd, finally landing on Gu Wenqing and heading straight for him. This was Niu Tianxi, a junior, the student union vice president and Wang Yanran's #1 admirer. He was decked out in expensive Burberry clothes, showing off his family's wealth. One of the freshmen asked, "Who's that guy?" Someone in the know said, "You don't check the school forums." That's Niu Tianxi. He's a famous rich kid on campus and vice president of the student union. No wonder he acts like he's better than everyone. He can get away with it. Some people were annoyed. Please, he's not even half as good as Gu Wenqing. What a joke. As soon as Niu Tianxi, who was arrogant and looked down on everyone, came out, some boys annoyed him and scolded him. Pretend to be a monster. Of course, some girls didn't think so, but felt that Niu Tianxi has the capital of arrogance. A group of bumpkins. I think the senior is very temperamental. He is the vice chairman of the student union, so he should be very good. Niu Tianxi was pissed, but in front of so many freshmen, he pretended to be a gentleman, but in fact his heart was burning with anger. He'd seen the forum posts about a freshman giving Wang Yanran, a sophomore, a Porsche Cayenne. At first, he dismissed it. There's no way that happened. At the end of last semester, he'd pulled that confession stunt where he put a luxury car inside a glass box on a trailer, with a sign saying, Yenran, please accept my love, that he staged a huge confession outside the school gates. Wang Yenran's response. I'm sorry, I don't like Porsches, and, you guessed it, the car was a Porsche Cayenne. He figured he'd rush things, so he'd secretly found out what kind of car Wang Yenran liked and planned a second attempt. So, his first thought when he saw the forum post was that it was absurd and funny. Wang Yenran doesn't like Porsche Cayenne at all. But with more and more posts, there are a series of rumors about Wang Yenran delivering water to her junior, Wang Yenran being the co-pilot of her junior's Ferrari, etc. He was completely lost. How could the forum be dominated by Gu Wenqing, a freshman, after he returned to school? Still gossip with Wang Yenran everywhere. Chapter 53. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Word around campus is buzzing about Gu Wenqing and Wang Shihua. Niu Tianxi was steaming mad. Damn it, he thought, Gu Wenqing must be paying people to spread this stuff, that it was just another one of Gu Wenqing's cheesy moves to try and get with Wang Yenran. He decided he needed to warn this kid. Niu Tianxi marched up to Gu Wenqing. Getting a good look at Gu Wenqing's face up close made Niu Tianxi's heart sink. Lucky for me, Wang Yenran isn't that shallow. Even though Niu Tianxi hated to admit it, the kid was actually good looking. Damn it, you little punk. Niu Tianxi cursed under his breath. He put on a nasty expression and said, so I hear Yenran's been bringing you water? And that you gave her a Porsche Cayenne? As soon as he said it, he dismissed the idea. That has to be BS. Gu Wenqing was joking around with Zhou Tao and some other guys in the dorm, and didn't even acknowledge Niu Tianxi. Seriously? Gu Wenqing thought. If I answered every rumor, I'd be talking all day long. That when Gu Wenqing didn't respond, Niu Tianxi figured he had scared him silent, so he kept going. Cat got your tongue. Let me clue you in, Wang Yenran isn't into Porsches. All those posts you paid people to put on the forum are see-through. You're just trying to trick Yenran. Gu Wenqing didn't say anything. He didn't want to waste his breath on this clown, but some students nearby overheard and started giving Niu Tianxi the side eye. Guess I'm a paid shill, then. Dude, I just posted something, I'm a shill too. Get outta here. This guy's a total tool. Niu Tianxi totally ignored the peanut gallery. He kept after Gu Wenqing. Don't think Yenran's impressed just because of your looks. She's still gonna go for someone with skills, like me. Niu Tianxi puffed out his chest and adjusted his fancy Burberry clothes, trying to look cool. This freshman, he thought, thinks he's all that. Coming in here and trying to hit on Yenran, the queen bee of the department. Who does he think he is? Standing in the shade, Gu Wenqing just stared at Niu Tianxi like he was an idiot, then glanced at his watch. Was this guy actually roasting himself out here in the sun? Niu Tianxi spotted the watch and sneered, oh, look at Mr. Moneybags over here with a Vacheron Constantine Malta. Gotta love your ignorance. You can't even tell a fake when you see one. A college kid wearing a multi-million-dollar watch. Please. Everyone knows it's a knockoff. He held up his wrist, showing off a sleek Rolex, and bragged. My Rolex wasn't too expensive, just 15 grand. Maybe you can afford one after you graduate, but by then I'll be rocking a $1 million watch. Niu Tianxi beamed with pride. Normally, announcing the price of his watch would get him a chorus of gasps and envious looks. He waited for the reaction, expecting to stun these clueless freshmen. Silence. While the students thought the $15,000 watch was expensive, Gu Wenqing was wearing a watch with millions, which made Niu Tianxi's watch seem small in comparison. Gu Wenqing, with his $1 million watch, didn't even brag like Niu Tianxi did. 1 second. 3 seconds. A full minute passed without a single gasp, a trace of envy, or anyone singing Niu Tianxi's praises. Niu Tianxi started to sweat. They must be too stunned to speak, he thought. Huang Zicheng couldn't take it anymore. This guy was straight up embarrassing himself. He said, first of all, get it straight, Wang Yenran is chasing Gu Wenqing, not the other way around. And who made you a watch expert? You say it's fake, so it's fake. Huang Zicheng hated it when locals acted like jerks. Guys like Niu Tianxi, who looked down their noses at everyone else, gave Shanghai a bad name and made people think everyone here was stuck up and xenophobic. Niu Tianxi scowled. What do you know with your crummy Longins? Huang Zicheng was about to blow a gasket. Niu Tianxi glared at Gu Wenqing, who was staring at his phone, and said in an arrogant tone, "You deaf or something? Cat got your tongue." Gu Wenqing really didn't want to get into it with this guy, but the guy was so infuriating. Gu Wenqing finally spoke. "I'm your dad. You really think you're hot stuff with a $15,000 watch? You're not even in my league." Niu Tianxi scoffed, "Yeah, well, at least I'm not wearing a fake." "You're proud of wearing a fake," Gu Wenqing said coolly, "the real deal is the real deal, and a fake is always a fake." "Do I really need to prove it to you?" Niu Tianxi nearly choked with laughter. The more Gu Wenqing said, the more convinced Niu Tianxi was that the watch was a fake. Use your brain, he thought. No college student can afford $1 million watch, it's ridiculous. Niu Tianxi had seen this kind of thing before, luxury cars and special license plates that were meant to package people as super rich to cheat girls. Because you can't prove it. You're just a poor guy pretending to be rich to trick college girls. Niu Tianxi declared triumphantly. Gu Wenqing's brow furrowed. Niu Tianxi saw it and burst out laughing. "Ha, I hit a nerve, didn't I? You're so busted." Gu Wenqing ignored the clown and focused on someone in the distance, someone he knew. Lu Yangwei had heard from friends that Jinxiu, a freshman at Shanghai University, was a total knockout. So today, he had driven over 100 miles just to get a look. Lu Yangwei strolled onto the field, casually checking out the new talent, especially after hearing that Jinxiu was so beautiful she looked like a fairy. He wanted to size her up for himself. The funk he'd been in the last few days had finally lifted, ever since he'd gotten with that little streamer that night. Talk about a silver lining, he thought. Still got my 300 million, so it's like a freebie. Now that he had 300 million burning a hole in his pocket, he was sure it was just a matter of time before he won over Jinxiu with enough sugar. When Niu Tianxi turned, he spotted Lu Yangwei. Lu Yangwei's family was connected, they were shareholders in Huafeng Group. Most of the business for Niu Tianxi's dad's construction company came from Huafeng Real Estate. It was no exaggeration to say that Niu Tianxi's family depended on Huafeng Real Estate to survive. Brother Yang, Niu Tianxi, who had just been flexing a minute ago, turned into a total suck-up, jogging over to offer Lu Tianxi a cigarette and light it for him. He was smooth and quick, he was used to sucking up to Lu Yangwei. Chapter 54. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lu Yangwei, looking totally pleased with himself, puffed on his cigarette. So what if the student union vice chairman at Shanghai Metropolitan University lit up a smoke? Who cares? But the freshmen were definitely surprised, staring at the skinny Lu Yangwei. Niu Tianxi, the same vice chairman, sporting a $15,000 Rolex and backed by a family fortune worth hundreds of millions, was practically groveling. One guy whispered, "Is this Lu Yangwei from some big shot family?" Has to be. Niu Tianxi wouldn't be so humble otherwise. Yeah, Niu Tianxi's the kind who loves to kiss up and kick down. The guy who makes him act like that must be somebody special. Some of the girls were crushed, the arrogant vice chairman lighting a cigarette for some nobody, acting like a total yes man. The image of Niu Tianxi they'd had just seconds ago was shattered. Lu Yangwei soaked in the shock and loved every second of it. Not bad asterisk, he thought. This Niu Tianxi's got some sense. Then, casually he asked, "Hey, Xiao Niu, you got a freshman girl named Jinxiu?" "Sorry, young Master Lu, just got back to campus today, haven't met any of the freshmen yet." Lu Yangwei raised an eyebrow. "So, you're here chasing tail too? Lu Xiao, you misunderstand. I just happened to be passing by when I saw some Malta kid with a fake $1 million Vacheron Constantine, thought I'd use my free time to teach him a lesson, show him you can't go around flashing fake stuff and you gotta keep it real." Niu Tianxi chuckled. Niu Tianxi conveniently left out the fact that he was trying to impress Wang Yanran when he went after Gu Wenqing. Lu Yangwei was a lek. If he got wind of someone like Wang Yanran, he'd definitely make a move. Lu Yangwei frowned. His family was worth over $4 billion, and he only wore a $40,000 watch. That watch was a gift from his grandparents, practically begging his dad to buy it. If everyone was rocking fakes, what good was his legit watch? How could he show off? Who's the jerk? Lu Yangwei demanded, his face twisted. I'll set him straight. Niu Tianxi pointed at Gu Wenqing. That's the punk, young Master Lu, pretending to be hot stuff with a bunch of fake watches. Lu Yangwei puffed out his chest and squinted. Wait a minute, Gu Wenqing went to Shanghai University. His soul almost left his body. Be brother Gu. Lu Yangwei stammered, terrified. He'd been so focused on the matching uniforms that he didn't even recognize Gu Wenqing. Then, a wave of fury washed over him. Lu Yangwei, Niu Tianxi set me up, he'd just insulted Gu Wenqing. He had to fix this. Lu Yangwei spun around and smacked Niu Tianxi hard across the face. Niu Tianxi stumbled, speechless. Before he could say anything, Lu Yangwei jabbed a finger at his forehead, yelling. What the hell's wrong with you, calling someone a punk? Your whole family's a punk. Then, slap left and right. Do you even know who this is? Gu is someone you and I can only dream of being. How dare you spread rumors about him wearing fake watches? Lu Yangwei continued, brother Gu's family has more money than God. What's a measly $1 million watch to him? He could wear a $30 million or $80 million watch and I wouldn't bat an eye. Whoa, the students were floored. Gu Wenqing's family was that rich? Lu Yangwei, who practically worshipped Niu Tianxi, was calling Gu Wenqing brother Gu. That meant Gu Wenqing was in a whole different league. Gu Wenqing said calmly, I heard you wanted to set me straight. Lu Yangwei, terrified, scurried over to Gu Wenqing, pulled out a lighter, lit his cigarette, and said with a forced smile. If I'd known it was brother Gu, I wouldn't have dared to breathe the same air. Waving his hands dismissively, he continued. Niu, you idiot, you're looking for trouble. My brother, Gu, is a shareholder in Huafeng Group, owns 80% of the shares, worth billions. What kind of watch can't he afford? What a huge mistake to spread rumors about brother Gu wearing a fake watch. Niu Tianxi was stunned. The freshman he provoked was a shareholder in Huafeng Group. And he owned 80% of the shares. He wanted the ground to swallow him whole. Lu Yangwei's family only owned 5% of Huafeng, which was why he had to suck up to them. He'd just insulted another Huafeng shareholder, and even worse, Gu Wenqing owned 80%. Looking at Gu Wenqing's icy face, remembering everything he'd said, Niu Tianxi started sweating bullets. He'd just dissed Gu Wenqing's $1 million watch. He'd even tried to steal the girl Gu Wenqing had his eye on, Wang Yanran. How could he have known the freshman was a Huafeng shareholder worth $80 billion? He was toast. He had to make this right, otherwise, Gu Wenqing could destroy his family's construction company with a single word. Young Master Gu, it's all my fault. I was blind, couldn't tell a real watch from a fake one. Niu Tianxi slapped himself twice, then, he slapped himself again. I shouldn't have gone after the girl you like. I was out of my mind. I deserve to be slapped. Gu Shao, please have mercy. Spare me. Niu Tianxi was begging, terrified of angering someone as powerful as Gu Wenqing. Just one word and his family's company would be gone. Niu Tianxi didn't want to be poor. You messed up, you pay the price. I won't hurt your family, so relax. I won't punish your family's company, Gu Wenqing said coldly. Niu Tianxi sighed in relief. Thank you, young Master Gu, for your kindness. He took off his $15,000 watch, smashed it on the ground, a sacrifice he didn't want to make but had to, and it shattered into pieces. Then, he started slapping himself hard, planning to do it 100 times. When he got to 10, Gu Wenqing frowned. Enough. Get out. Punishment was enough. Niu Tianxi fled in despair. Everyone who witnessed this was speechless. They never imagined that Niu Tianxi, whose family was worth hundreds of millions, would be so humiliated by Gu Wenqing. Did they just hear right? Gu Wenqing was a Huafeng Group shareholder. That was insane. Chapter 55. You are listening at novelfull.audio. A student, clueless as to why, pulled out his phone to search, and his jaw hit the floor. Holy crap, Huafeng Group is worth 800 billion. Damn. So, Gu Wenqing's 10% stake is worth 80 billion bucks. Young Master Gu. I'm not worthy to be in your presence. No way, the villas in Huafeng Group's university town sell for a steal at 30 yuan per square meter, and who knew it was Gu Xiao's property? Talk about keeping it under wraps. If we hadn't heard it from someone else, we'd have no idea Gu Wenqing was this loaded. Thought a bunch of guys were a tangled mess of emotions. While they were still hustling to figure out their futures, Gu Wenqing was already chilling at the top of the food chain. Just thinking about Gu Wenqing, the Huafeng Group shareholder worth 80 billion, made them green with envy. The girls were practically drooling, faces flushed. This was the real deal, top tier. Niu Tianxi wasn't even worthy of shining Gu Wenqing's shoes. They were eyeing Gu Wenqing like he was a walking buffet. Hooking up with Gu Wenqing, a guy with that kind of money, would mean never having to work another day in their lives, basically becoming a trophy wife. One girl, who thought she was all that, was batting her eyelashes at Gu Wenqing, hoping to catch his eye. Too bad for her, Gu Wenqing didn't even know she existed. Then, Gu Wenqing spotted that loser, Lu Yangwei. He took a drag of his cigarette, all casual, and said, "Yangwei, what are you standing around for like a dummy? Get lost." "Okay, bro." Lu Yangwei said, grinning, and scrammed. He was scared Gu Wenqing would call and complain again, which would definitely result in another beatdown from his parents when he got home. It would suck to damage his $40 watch. Lu Yangwei, who usually acted like he owned the place, was suddenly a total suck-up around Gu Wenqing, a mix of fear and respect. It gave everyone an even clearer picture of just how much clout Gu Wenqing really had. Later, back in the dorm after military training, Gu Wenqing's 3 roommates were still in shock. Who would have guessed that the guy they'd been joking around with was actually a shareholder in Huafeng Group, with a net worth measured in the billions? How could they not be floored? "Dude, old Gu, why didn't you say something sooner?" Huang Zicheng asked. Gu Wenqing replied, "You never asked." "Crap, my family just bought a house in Huafeng real estate a few days ago, and they wouldn't give us a discount because they're selling like crazy." Gu Wenqing inquired, "Who bought it?" "What's the name?" "My dad, Huang Zhonghuang." "Dude, your dad's name is epic." Gu Wenqing joked, then grabbed his phone and called Huafeng Real Estate Sales Headquarters. "Hey. This is Gu Wenqing. Did a guy named Huang Zhonghuang recently buy a place with Huafeng?" That when the sales department heard it was Mr. Gu calling, they jumped to attention. "Yes, Mr. Gu. He just purchased a detached house in the university town development." Gu Wenqing said without missing a beat, "He's a family friend. Give them the biggest discount you can." The sales lady, knowing the buyer was connected to Mr. Gu and that Mr. Gu had personally asked, didn't dare to hesitate. She immediately gave Huang Zhonghuang the employee discount of 7% off the house price. After hanging up, the sales lady immediately sent out the order, "Implement Huang Zhonghuang's house purchase discount ASAP." Chapter 56. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Damn. Huaxi Street, University Town, Yuan.Gu Chinese restaurant. Huang Zhonghuang almost choked when he got a call from Huafeng Real Estate. The person on the other end was super polite, saying he could get a 7% discount on the bungalow he'd bought. He hung up before they even finished. "This is insane." Huang Zhonghuang fumed. His wife asked, "What's wrong, honey?" "Some joker pretending to be from Huafeng called, said we could get a discount on the house," Huang Zhonghuang said. "Can you believe the nerve of these scammers these days?" His wife agreed it was ridiculous. These con artists really think they can get away with anything. They clearly hadn't bothered to check out Huafeng Real Estate's reputation. Huafeng was practically legendary in Shanghai. Their houses were always in demand, never gathering dust. Why would they suddenly offer discounts? Were they running a charity all of a sudden? Did rich folks just have money to burn? Besides, they'd paid cash, signed the papers, the whole 9 yards. That money was in Huafeng's account for good. There was no way they were giving it back. A few minutes later, the phone rang again. Huang Zhonghuang answered, already annoyed. A clear voice on the other end said. Mr. Huang, hello, I'm really calling from Huafeng Real Estate. Asterisk click, star. He hung up again. This scammer was persistent, he had to give them that. Half a second later, his sales rep called. What the hell, Huang? You don't want Huafeng to give you a discount? You got money to burn or something? Why didn't your buddies tell me you knew Mr. Gu? Wait, are you serious about the discount? Huang Zhonghuang asked, stunned. Yeah, man, 7%. I'm jealous. That they chatted excitedly for a minute before hanging up. He and his wife were losing it. A discount on a house. Huang Zhonghuang had scraped together a few million from savings and another million or so from the old house being torn down to make way for new construction, totaling about $1.8 million for the house. The bungalow was huge, like 1,900 square feet on a 2,000 square feet lot, and had cost around $1.80 million. 7% off that price was a little over $120,000. That was $120,000 back in his pocket. He was ecstatic, like he'd won the lottery. He thought for a second, then called a few buddies he thought were well connected, asking if they knew a Mr. Gu at Huafeng Real Estate. Meanwhile, back at the dorm, Huang Zicheng hadn't given Gu Wenqing's phone call another thought, figuring it was all just a joke. Dude, Gu, you're incredible. Seriously, the way you played it on the field just now, it wasn't just those girls who were impressed. Even a seasoned guy like me thinks you're hot stuff. Shareholder in Huafeng Real Estate, just thinking about it makes me feel like I'm not worthy. Zhou Tao was practically bouncing off the walls, green with envy. Zheng Xiaohong chimed in, equally jealous, saying. Gu, you're way too humble. You're worth 80 billion. I can't even. Gu Wenqing smiled modestly, saying. It's all family money, nothing to brag about. Don't be jealous. You wouldn't want to be me anyway. The other three in the dorm groaned. That's cold, man. Just twisting the knife. That while they were joking around, Huang Zicheng's iPhone 13 started ringing. He pulled it out and saw his dad was calling. He answered, Hey, Dad, what's up? Chapter 57 Li Jinxiu #039, S Jealousy. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Hey, son, you know a Mr. Gu? Huang Zhonghuang's voice boomed through the phone. He'd called everyone he knew, but nobody had heard of a Mr. Gu at Huafeng. Huang Zicheng was the last resort. Even though he figured his student son probably wouldn't know the guy, he had to ask. Mr. Gu. Huang Zicheng sounded confused. Which Mr. Gu are we talking about? Mr. Gu from Huafeng Group. Huafeng just called and gave us a 500% discount on the house we bought. They refunded the whole 5 million plus to my account. Holy crap. That Mr. Gu you're talking about is my roommate. Huang Zicheng's eyes went wide, he was totally shocked. Huang Zhonghuang told his son, I'm transferring $1 million to your account. You need to thank Mr. Gu and make sure you build a good relationship with him. After hanging up, Huang Zicheng was still in disbelief, like he was dreaming. 5 million. That's what his dad makes in a year. And all it took was one word from Gu to save his family 5 million. That was insane. Plus, Gu only made that call 10 minutes ago, and they already gave the discount and refund. The dorm wasn't big, so everyone could hear the call. Zhou Tao said loudly with envy, Gu, you're a true brother. One phone call, and you got Huang Zicheng 5 million knocked off his house. Only you could pull that off. In the future, when I have the cash, I'm definitely buying a house in Huafeng, and I want a 7% discount. Zheng Xiaohong also looked at Gu Wenqing with admiration. Seriously, Gu, is it too late for me to call you Dad? Gu Wenqing pouted. Get out of here. I'm not old enough to have a son that old. Huang Zicheng stepped forward and announced that his dad's million had arrived and asked Gu Wenqing for his bank info. Gu Wenqing waved him off. Keep it. I don't need it. Hearing that, Huang Zicheng figured as much. Gu has so much money, $1 million is chump change to him. Then his eyes lit up, and he said to Gu Wenqing, after military training, I'm taking you to the biggest nightclub in Shanghai. You name it, I'm buying. Zheng Xiaohong and Zhou Tao grinned and gave Huang Zicheng a thumbs up. Gu Wenqing took a shower and changed into clean clothes, a white t-shirt, black shorts, and white sneakers, simple, but on Gu Wenqing, it looked expensive and cool. Gu, I just bought some Nikes, too. Zhou Tao was holding a pair of gray and white Nike sneakers. He'd seen Moro wearing Nikes at the party with Li Wenfang and thought they looked good, so he ordered a pair online for $10. Huang Zicheng took a look. The swooshes on those are all crooked. You couldn't even get a good knockoff. How much did you pay? $10. Zhou Tao didn't care. He thought they looked good and said, 68, free shipping. Gu Wenqing stepped forward and patted Zhou Tao on the shoulder with a smile. Doesn't matter if they're real or not, as long as they're comfortable. Zhou Tao chuckled, that's how he saw it. That's when Zhou Tao noticed Gu Wenqing's outfit. Dude. You going on a date again? You know it. If they do a dorm check, tell them I'm in the bathroom. Gu Wenqing said as he walked out. The other three just stared at each other, totally envious of Gu Wenqing. They didn't even have to guess, they knew he was going to hook up with some girl. Man, the comparison was brutal. They'd never even held a girl's hand for more than a second, and Gu Wenqing was already getting all the ladies, maybe all the ladies. Before Gu Wenqing got into the Ferrari, his phone buzzed with a message. He saw it was from Wang Min. Gu Wenqing opened it. Wang Min, honey, I miss you. Crying, Wang Min, are you coming today? I'm waiting for you at the hotel. Picture, a seductive selfie. Wang Min, honey, what's your zodiac sign? Kiss. Smiling slightly, Gu Wenqing typed back. I'm on my way. And I was born in the year of the monkey, 2004, why are you asking? Wang Min, no, you belong to me. Shy. Gu Wenqing smirked at the cheesy line. Gu Wenqing, you don't look like a monkey. Wang Min, I don't care. You're mine. Angry, just then, the senior student sent a message. Wang Yanran, did Niu Tianxi give you trouble today? Pouty face. Gu Wenqing, yeah, he even mocked me. How are you going to make it up to your injured junior? Wang Yanran, do I look good, junior? Picture, shy, sister's artistic photo. Gu Wenqing, are there benefits? Smirk, Wang Yanran, ugh. You little pervert. Image. Awkward laughter. Seeing the back and forth, Gu Wenqing thought about Wang Yanran's perfect figure. His blood started to boil. Teasing, just teasing, not gonna follow through. Gu Wenqing hopped into the Ferrari, gripped the steering wheel, and the Ferrari roared to life, tearing into the Shanghai night. On the way, Gu Wenqing remembered he still had a Shanghai game studio. He was getting so many different businesses, he'd forget if he wasn't careful. He'd have to check out the game studio in a couple of days. Magic City University, Wang Yanran's dorm. Li Jinxiu was scrolling through the school forum on her phone. Exposure. Freshman Gu Wenqing is actually a shareholder in Huafeng. The post had a fire icon at the top. It was trending. The comments were wild. Li Jinxiu tuned out the trolls and the envious comments. She knew Gu Wenqing had given Wang Yanran a Porsche and that the watch Gu Wenqing was wearing was worth over $1 million. Right now, she was so jealous of Wang Yanran, it hurt. Li Jinxiu asked, Yanran, is your freshman boyfriend's family really a shareholder in Huafeng Group? And he really bought you that Porsche? Yeah, he said so last time. He spent over $3 million on the car. Wang Yanran was also reading the forum and answered without looking up. Oh, their villa must be pretty expensive. Li Jinxiu said quietly. Expensive? Not for Gu Wenqing. Wang Yanran replied casually. Li Jinxiu pursed her lips and didn't say anything. The competition between the girls was fierce. Li Jinxiu's boyfriend had bought a townhouse in Huafeng real estate before, and Li Jinxiu had lorded that over everyone in the dorm for a couple of months. Chapter 58. You are listening at novelfull.audio. People will say the villa's getting a new, trendy Chinese makeover. Later, I was like, this villa is huge, what are two people gonna do with all that space? She also mentioned the villa has 3 parking spots, hinting her boyfriend should buy her a car. Li Jinxiu has been window shopping for cars on her phone for almost a semester, but hasn't pulled the trigger. Her boyfriend says he's renovating and doesn't have the extra cash. She eyed Wang Yanran, thinking how she's already cruising around in a Porsche Cayenne, super jealous, and her boyfriend's drop-dead gorgeous. Plus, his family's a shareholder in Huafeng Group. Seriously loaded. A ridiculously rich, billionaire boyfriend. How did Wang Yanran get so lucky? So cheap. Li Jinxiu blurted out, Yanran. Didn't you say you hated that Porsche Cayenne Niutianxi gave you? I just hated the guy who gave it to me. Meanwhile, Gu Wenqing was driving to the Radisson Hotel. He found the main garage entrance blocked solid. Circling around to the hotel entrance, the ground-level spots were hogged by luxury cars, so, he decided to try the underground garage, hoping it would be less congested. No such luck. The entrance to the entire underground garage was jammed with more than a dozen cars. Gu Wenqing considered trying another entrance, but more cars piled up behind him, boxing in his Ferrari. He got out to see what the holdup was. 3 minutes earlier, Yang Mo drove her BMW 1 Series to the Radisson Hotel. A classmate was getting married there. Since the entrance to the parking lot was downhill, she stopped on a slight incline, waiting for the car in front to enter the basement. The Mercedes-Benz S400 in front of her must have had the wrong gear engaged, because the driver floored it in reverse, slamming into Yang Mo's BMW. Zhou Xianghang, the Mercedes driver, jumped out and immediately tried to claim Yang Mo rear-ended him, making her fully responsible. Yang Mo was on the verge of tears. There weren't any witnesses, and her car didn't have a dashcam, leaving her completely helpless. She was freaking out. She frantically called classmates, begging them to come help sort things out. But when the classmates arrived and saw Zhou Xianghang, decked out in a huge gold chain and driving a Mercedes S-Class, they clammed up. One of the guys who used to chase after Yang Mo weakly suggested checking the security cameras. Zhou Xianghang blew a fuse and slapped the guy so hard, he didn't know what hit him. Zhou Xianghang flexed his muscles, and everyone else got even quieter. I'm not trying to be a jerk, just file an insurance claim. Zhou Xianghang snapped. Yang Mo refused point blank. I didn't hit you. Why should I pay for a scum like you? Zhou Xianghang laughed, dripping with sarcasm. That's a joke. Rear-ending is your fault, plain and simple. You pay up. Other drivers, who'd gotten out to see what the delay was, chimed in. Come on, lady, you're responsible. Just pay. Yeah, it's time to pony up. You're holding everyone up. You're pretty, but what a cheapskate. I don't know how you got a license if you don't know rear-ending is always your fault. What a pain this woman is. Everyone piled on, blaming Yang Mo. Her eyes welled up, and tears of frustration stung. The Mercedes driver's setup, her classmates' silence, the random insults from strangers who didn't know the facts. It was all too much. She thought maybe she should just give in. That's when Zhou Xianghang said, well, there might be other ways you could make it up to me. Zhou Xianghang gave Yang Mo the once-over, realizing she was a total knockout. Yang Mo felt humiliated and helpless, tears streaming down her face. Gu Wenqing strode up, just in time to hear Zhou Xianghang's sleazy comment and see Yang Mo sobbing. He asked gently, Sister Mo, what's going on? As he spoke, he took out a tissue and wiped away her tears. Oh, Brother Gu, he's trying to frame me. Seeing someone she knew, Yang Mo burst into uncontrollable tears. Between sobs, she explained what had happened. Both sides insisted they were in the right. Gu Wenqing wasn't sure what had happened but knew that this guy claimed Yang Mo rear-ended him and refused to check the security camera. Anyone with a brain could see something fishy was going on and Yang Mo was innocent, but everyone chose not to challenge Zhou Xionghan in his luxury Mercedes-Benz S-Class 400. Gu Wenqing frowned and said firmly, "Get the property management to pull up the security footage." "I'll pull your mother. You wanna try something, punk?" Zhou Xionghan glared at Gu Wenqing. He thought he could intimidate this young guy the same way he intimidated everyone else. He was wrong. Gu Wenqing ignored him and just dialed the property management number posted on the wall to report the situation. "You're really asking for it." Zhou Xionghan lunged forward, ready to smack the kid around. Gu Wenqing, with his invincible skill, smirked. He spun around and landed a perfect kick. Thud! The sound of impact echoed through the garage as Zhou Xionghan flew backward, landing in a heap on the floor. Gu Wenqing's solid kick made him cry out in pain. "You're a real piece of work. You little punk, you dare hit me? I'll destroy you." Zhou Xionghan yelled, clutching his stomach. Gu Wenqing said coldly, 3 times. "You insulted my family 3 times, asterisk slap, star. Asterisk slap, star. Asterisk slap, star. Gu Wenqing unleashed 3 brutal slaps across Zhou Xionghan's face. His face immediately swelled up like a balloon. Now Zhou Xionghan was terrified. It hurt too much to keep acting tough. Just then, hotel security arrived. The security captain, recognizing the Mercedes license plate and the swollen-faced Zhou Xionghan, stepped forward tentatively. "Mr. Zhou." "Zhou. It's me, you don't recognize me?" The security captain didn't say anything. "Yeah, right, like I could recognize you after you got your ass kicked." At this moment, Gu Wenqing spoke up. "Pull up the surveillance footage and review what happened." Zhou Xionghan, feeling emboldened by the arrival of 5 or 6 security guards, winked at the captain. The captain, knowing exactly what to do, understood immediately. He cleared his throat and said, "Sorry, the cameras in our garage are out of order." Zhou Xionghan shot Gu Wenqing a smug, triumphant grin. "Brother Gu, I'm just unlucky. I'll file a claim." Yang Mo said. She wasn't stupid. It was obvious the hotel security and Zhou Xionghan were in cahoots, with no witnesses, no dashcam, and the hotel refusing to provide footage. Even though she was being set up, she had no choice but to swallow her pride and pay up. Chapter 59 President Long, give me 1 million cash. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Too late for what? Now it's not just about the car. This punk straight up assaulted me. I'm going to the ER to get checked out. Buddy, we live in a country with laws. You just wait, till I sue you for everything you've got. Zhou Xionghan spat the words out, gritting his teeth. Medical bills, pain and suffering, lost wages, emotional distress, he wanted it all covered. Oh, now you care about the law. Who was the one throwing punches a minute ago? Gu Wenqing brushed the dust off his clothes, his voice cool. As for compensation, I'm not trying to get out of paying what I owe. Then, his tone turned icy. You think you can bankrupt me? Your miserable life ain't worth that much. The head of security saw the line of cars backing up from the hotel garage. He didn't want to get heat from the higher-ups, so he stepped in. Hey, fellas, no matter what, you can't just go around punching people. Let's deal with the accident first, then you can sit down and hash it out. Whatever you want. Sound good? The security captain's tone was friendly, but it was clear he was siding with Zhou Xionghan in his Benz. Mr. Zhou was a Radisson Hotel Platinum member, a big spender who was always dropping cash there. He wanted to keep the big spending customers happy. Radisson Hotel membership levels: Basic, Silver, Gold, Platinum, and Diamond. To get to Platinum, you had to drop 10 million in cash. Gu Wenqing shot back, I am dealing with it. If you've got time to stand around, how about you pull up the security footage? The security captain doubled down, the cameras are down. Gu Wenqing walked over to the camera, pointed at the light, and said sarcastically, you think I'm blind? Or just stupid? That light's brighter than the grease on your face. You're telling me it's broken? Don't jerk me around. Go get the video, that the security captain didn't budge. He said, deadpan, sorry, company policy. You're not authorized to view the footage. And could you please deal with this accident ASAP and move your BMW out of the way so that people can get to where they need to be. Hearing this, the frustrated drivers waiting started to chime in. Yeah, move the car. You can handle it privately. I'm trying to get dinner. I'm about to piss myself. Move the cars. Those two look like trouble. Why are they being so difficult? Move the car, that everyone started yelling. Zhou Xionghan's swollen face cracked a smug smile. Ha, I'm a platinum member here. You can't compete with that he was making it clear that Gu Wenqing was nothing to him. He was platinum, so the Radisson Hotel would back him up. He was platinum, which was why they wouldn't show the security footage. Money talked, and money bought privileges. Zhou Xionghan was on top of the world, sure that Gu Wenqing was going to pay the price for laying hands on him. After all this stalling, Yang Mo looked completely defeated. She took a breath and said quietly, let's just move the car. We'll figure it out. Don't worry. I got this, Gu Wenqing said, waving her off. Gu Wenqing raised his eyebrows and asked, so, platinum members get special treatment? The security captain nodded, without thinking. How much does it cost to be platinum? The security guard sneered, 10 million. They didn't believe a young guy like Gu Wenqing could come up with 10 million to drop on a membership. Gu Wenqing went on, and diamond. Hearing that, both the security guard and Zhou Xionghan burst out laughing. Huh, you wanna go diamond? Kid, you probably can't afford $5. You probably don't even have enough money to sign up for a basic membership. Diamond members need to drop 100 million. Like you could swing that? Zhou Xionghan's face was dripping with contempt for Gu Wenqing. With that cheap mask and his youth, it was obvious he was nothing more than a broke college student pretending he was wearing a fake watch. And the woman drives a bottom-of-the-line BMW, she obviously has no money. If I don't bully you, who will I bully? Let the bullying commence. Gu Wenqing ignored him. This type of guy wasn't worth the effort. He pulled out his phone and made a call. Hey, Long. It's Gu Wenqing, I'm in the garage at the Radisson Hotel. Find a local branch and get me 10 million in cash, quick. Need it ASAP. Gu Wenqing spoke to Long Zipin, the president of the Bank of Shanghai, the head of that bank, a major figure, but he treated Gu Wenqing with respect, kept saying yes, and promised the money was on the way. The reason the bank president was so eager to please was that Gu Wenqing had more than $10 billion on deposit at the Bank of Shanghai. How much is $10 billion? Some of the richest people in the country, worth billions on paper, couldn't easily spend 10 million in cash. Most of their assets were tied up in stocks, company valuations, real estate, but they were light on cash. Compared to that, how terrifying was someone like Gu Wenqing, who could keep billions in cash in the bank. Of course the president of the Shanghai Bank didn't dare to screw with someone like that. If Gu Wenqing got upset and moved his money to another bank, the Bank of Shanghai would lose one of its biggest customers, and President Long could lose his job. Gu Wenqing wasn't speaking loudly, but the people nearby could hear. Their jaws hit the floor. Did they just hear him say he needed to withdraw 10 million in cash? That was unbelievable. This kid had to be out of his mind, or he was a pathological liar. Who went around asking to withdraw 10 million in cash? Maybe he was talking about Zimbabwean dollars. If so, then $10 million would barely get you a handful of peanuts. Thinking about that, the tension broke and everybody laughed. Zhou Xionghan was dying from laughing, and his swollen face hurt, cheeks crooked in a grotesque smile. Chapter 60. A group of people carrying sacks arrived. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Screw that. $1 million? That's a joke. Huh, maybe 100 million Zimbabwean dollars. This kid's got the wrong idea of what $1 million means. If you're gonna act tough, at least make it believable. Never seen anyone try this so awkwardly. If you said 10 or 20 grand, I'd almost believe it. A million? I'm gonna call BS on that. This dude's totally useless, daydreaming from the jump. 100 million? That's way too much bragging to be true. Hearing Gu Wenqing say a million, everyone's jaw dropped. No way. This kid actually said 100 million. Seriously? Total BS. Some people were embarrassed for Gu Wenqing. How could he say something so ridiculous in front of everyone? Standing next to Gu Wenqing, Yang Mo's classmate instinctively backed away, mortified. Everyone thought, even if he wanted to impress Yang Mo, he shouldn't have gone so over the top. Way too much. It's the joke of the century. He's so outrageous, it's like outrageous is his middle name. Some of the girls admitted Gu Wenqing was handsome, but his running his mouth was a total turn-off. One of the heavier girls said to Yang Mo, "Momo, don't fall for it, you can't trust a word this guy says." The others nodded, agreeing. Yeah, don't just go for looks. Don't pick someone who's all talk. Too bad, he had such a good face. Bring me 1 million in cash, I can't stop laughing when I think about it. Hearing her classmates making fun of Gu Wenqing, Yang Mo snapped. Enough. She shouted. The students had never seen the usually sweet and gentle Yang Mo lose it like this. They were startled into silence. Yang Mo walked forward, stood beside Gu Wenqing, and said softly, "I'm sorry." Gu Wenqing shook his head and smiled, saying it was okay. Yang Mo was disappointed in her classmates. When she was in trouble, they were all too afraid of the Mercedes driver to step in and help. It was their right not to help, and Yang Mo wouldn't get angry about that. What made her furious was them trash-talking Gu Wenqing who actually helped her. Okay, saying 1 million was maybe a little much, but they could laugh about it. They didn't need to be mean, especially since they were supposed to be on the same side. Besides, Yang Mo knew Gu Wenqing had money. He drove a multi-million-dollar supercar. The license plate alone cost a fortune. He could totally throw down 1 million. A few people in the crowd had noticed Gu Wenqing get out of the Ferrari, and they had no doubt he could cough up $1 million. But except for them, everyone else thought Gu Wenqing was a joke, a total blowhard. At that moment, Zhou Xionghan chimed in with a sneer. Another 100 million? Don't you choke on that? If you can actually come up with 1 million, Zhou Xionghan, will kneel down and call you daddy. Zhou Xionghan stood in front of the security guards, his face full of contempt. Gu Wenqing, what do you call me if I take out 1 million? Your daddy. Hey, son. Damn it, I'll let you get the first word in, you'll regret it later. You're really something, but you'll be crying first. You'll cry after I get checked out for my injuries. Zhou Xionghan was going ballistic, and was about to let loose a string of curse words. He remembered how Gu Wenqing slapped him before, and the side of his face still hurt like hell. He couldn't help but shiver, and swallowed the curse words down when he said it. Magic City Bank. Long Zipan was very fortunate that Modu Bank was located in a first-tier big city like Modu. If it was in a small city, the cash in a branch is very little, at most several million, but in a first-tier city like Shanghai, the branches of Shanghai usually have tens of millions to more than 100 million in cash in the vault. At this time, it happened to be the time for the cash truck to transport the banknotes to the vault. With an order from Long Zipan of the head office in Shanghai, countless cash transport vehicles nearby reported the funds in the vehicles directly to the bank, add up the cash in many armored vans, just enough to make up 100 million cash, and then quickly rush to the Radisson Hotel. How much is 1 million in cash? If you use 100 yuan notes, a 100 yuan note weighs about 1.15 grams, 1 million yuan is 1 million notes, so 1.15 x 1000000 equals 1150000 grams equals 1150 kilograms, that is, 1.15 tons, according to the current load of a private car of 375 kilograms. If an individual uses a private car for transfer, at least 4 to 5 cars must be prepared. If 1 million yuan in cash is stacked, it will be 100 meters high, which is equivalent to the height of a 30-40-story building. Soon, a dozen or 20 banknote transport vehicles, carrying banknotes of different amounts in the vehicles, came to the Radisson restaurant one after another. The garage was blocked, so they parked the car on the side of the road next to Radisson Restaurant. 30 or 40 bank staff in suits who had been waiting here for a long time in advance got into the car and carried the money in the sack, and rushed towards the garage of the Radisson Restaurant. Half an hour. What the heck am I stuck in? I've been here for over 20 minutes. Damn, these guys are too stubborn. Just take a photo of the scene on the phone and determine the responsibility, but they just have to block it here. Hey, why you in such a rush? It would be nice to watch a show. Huh, that's what I was thinking too. I'm just waiting to see how this kid's going to get out of this. Waste of time, I don't think he's coming back at all. The crowd of onlookers, you talk, I talk, chatting back and forth. Some were anxious, some laughed and watched the show. At that moment, someone in the crowd was the first to notice something strange. In sight, a group of people in the same uniform were rushing towards the entrance of the garage, carrying big bags with difficulty. He muttered to himself in disbelief, could it be? More and more people were noticing the commotion. Someone shouted loudly, dude, look behind you. Everyone instantly turned around. Everyone present was stunned. What were they seeing? A group of guys in matching white shirts each carried a sack on their shoulders. They looked like they were working hard, so the sacks must be heavy. Holy crap! Could they be carrying cash? At the realization, shock turned into horror. Could the kid really call in the money? No way. This was too crazy.